Hi, I'm Dave the RPA guy, and welcome to another episode of Let's Build in Blue Prism! It's exciting times today in our Monitor a Value series. Today we will, in part 8, be adding ourselves a main loop into our process so that our process can run continuously, as well as we're going to be running in control room. So I'm going to change the value that is in mission to say be the best RPA developer ever. That's my mission statement, apparently. Okay, we're gonna run this. Did I publish it? I probably didn't publish it, otherwise it would be here. So there you go, rookie mistake. Go into your process and open the process information stage, publish process to control room, published to control room. Now we should be able to find it over here. Drop it onto our resource, which is just the local computer. And we're going to, it should ask us for startup parameters, the URL. Be the best RPA developer ever. Let's save it. Start selection. Okay, so it saved this stuff. It didn't run. What we'll do is now start it, and it should not send us an email. I believe it should not send us an email because it will find that the value's the same. Be the best RPA developer ever. It should not have sent us an email here. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and run it again. I guess I can go ahead and point out here that I'm not using scheduler because I'm not running this off of an application server. Okay, and we're gonna run again. Will it just start it without asking me? Whoa, it didn't save, right, because, of course, that's an entirely different session. I would need to make a schedule for it. So that's the value to watch, but I'm going to change it to be, I'm going to change the actual value to be a pretty good developer. I accidentally did it in all caps. It should email us. Okay, so it's looking for the same value, be the best developer ever, but it found something different, so it should say, send you an email, and it should pop up. Oh, but we had a problem. Never fear, this is not unusual, and I should mention here that if you're having this problem and you're trying to do this for your own company or for a client, and MAPIEx is just failing over and over, you're likely going to have to put in some kind of logic to restart sessions or restart a machine or whatever you find is solving the problem if you want to use MAPIEx, or just accept the fact that it fails now and then. There is a reasonable solution that Blue Prism has put out, which is an email manager. You can find that on the downloads on the portal. And that email manager is designed so that a bot would be dedicated to sending emails for all other bots. And if that email it populates a work queue, and that work queue maintains all the emails that should be sent, and then the bot will send one at a time, send those emails out. If it starts failing, that one bot knows how to recover itself to get back access to the message store, and then it will go back through and start sending emails again. So it's either that or use a different notification system like a chat. Use calls to Slack or calls to whatever chat message program you use. Anyway, but I don't have that kind of integration here on my local computer, so we're just going to have to rely on MAPIEx for right now until we maybe switch to POP3 SMTP. I'm going to restart Blue Prism. We'll see if that solves the problem again. Right, can't start it up that quickly. Runtime resource is still starting up. Ready for this? URL, value to watch, be the best developer ever. Okay, it should not be the same. I mean, I guess we proved it earlier that it works, right? Because it tried to send us an email, and even though it couldn't, it did understand that it was supposed to send one. Looks like it worked this time, so restarting Blue Prism does seem to solve the problem. you're watched. I love that. The original value was be the best developer ever. The value has changed to be a pretty good developer. So Dave the RPA guy has run into problems, maybe with MAPIEx, and he's feeling less confident, and it's kind of upsetting to him. So now he's just lowering his sights a little bit. And I can point out here that you'll see still the resource name, the Blue Prism runtime resource name, but it doesn't have debug under it because we ran it in control room. Okay. All right. It's pretty exciting. What we need to do now for our monitor a value on a web page process is include a main loop. The point of this whole process is to monitor a web page, right? So checking a single time is not going to be good enough. We need to check multiple times. To get this done, we're just going to do the same thing we have so far. We're going to build a less robust version of what we intend to eventually make. And so what we're going to do is change this so that it doesn't end here and it doesn't throw an error here, and instead it just keeps looping back up. Now, first thing I see what we're going to have to do is whenever we find that there's a send email failure, we will need to write to a log or send failure notification. Maybe we'll write to a log file like I mentioned, which is pretty simple to do. Or maybe we'll think of something else to do. So what we're going to do is create ourselves an infinite loop, and then it will only stop if a stop is requested in control room. Let's put a couple of anchors in here. We're going to connect these into a decision stage that will simply check to see if a stop is requested. Is stop requested? Is stop requested? Send email success. We actually want this to be, if the send email success is false, then it'll go send failure notification and then continue back on the main loop, because even if MAPIEx is not working, it doesn't mean we want to stop monitoring. So we'll log that to a log file. We don't want this to stop, so mission value changed. It'll send a notification. But of course it does. Choose the one I don't want. All right, so what we've set up here is effectively an infinite loop. There is no end stage. No link when the decision is false. Oh, right. Rookie mistake. Okay. Is stop requested should be switched to the other way, because if it's true, then we want to end. If it's not true, then we want to continue. Okay, let's go ahead and check for errors again. Looks like we're good. The process flow will be start. It will send in its startup parameters, URL, and value to watch. It will check if there's a stop requested. If not, then it'll launch Facebook, navigate to about, get the mission value, and close IE. Then, oh, we don't actually need it to close IE. We'll probably come back here and improve this. Maybe that'll be the very next thing we do to improve this, because we don't need it to close Internet Explorer every time. We can leave the web page open and simply reload the page, but that's an enhancement we can make later. So then we check, is the mission value changed? No, it's not changed. Well, in that case, we don't need to send a notification, and we just go back up, check again. This is where we want a wait stage, I'm going to say. But this is the process, so we will use an action, use utility general, sleep for in seconds. We'll just call it time interval. I don't actually need that to be space. Incidentally, if you're wondering why variable names, I put spaces in them, and I don't do things like, I didn't name it like, let's see, I'll just cut. I didn't name it like this, time interval, right? Because normally we use camel case in coding, but because Blue Prism doesn't ever let me type just like we see here, I'm still required to put the square brackets. It's just entirely pointless. It's even less readable now. So I name all my variables, my data items, like that. Let's do this. And and let's move here. We haven't created it yet, that's right. Time interval, we'll make this. Time interval and seconds. So we need number. We'll just we'll initialize it at 0. And then this should be an input variable. Time interval. Okay, number. Time interval. Again, if you were going to use it, if you're making this for other people to use, you should fill in these descriptions. All right, so we'll get the time interval here. Then it will be used right here as seconds. I guess we could go ahead and say time interval seconds. Here in part 8 of our Monitor a Value series, we tested our process in control room, and then we added ourselves a main loop. Now that we've got that, in our next video, I'm going to show the test that we ran for running in control room with the main loop in place. And you'll see that we will run into a number of errors, and so I'm going to save that test for the next episode because it's followed up by some troubleshooting. It's time for another tip of the day with Dave the RPA guy. When you're creating a startup parameter, you should always make sure to fill in the description field. It does not matter how well you think you have named your variable. Someone out there will not know what it means. So, if I had an indistinct name like data, you should put a description. For example, a CSV list of product IDs. Oh, it makes so much sense now.